It's 1980, and I'm in a punk bar in Helsinki, Finland, all by all by myself, because my roommates, who I was studying abroad with in Stockholm, Sweden, decided to pair up with each other and meet other people, and they abandoned me in this punk bar in Helsinki, where I didn't know a soul. And I'm standing there. I'm 19 years old. And a gentleman comes up, and he has a leather vest on. He's about 6 inches shorter than me, a leather vest with no shirt and a chain around him. And, and he's pulling at my arm, and he's saying things in Finnish, which I don't understand. And he's pulling me towards the dance floor, and I don't know what to do. And out of the crowd comes this tall, beautiful, blonde man who puts his arm around me and says something in Finnish to the short guy. And sorry if you're short. No. And I think he's saying, she's with me and go away, and he did. And then I was sort of enamored and in love. And I'm looking at him, and we danced, and he could speak English, and we talk about each other, and I was just floating. And at the end of the night, I still don't know where my friends are, and the bar is closing, and he asked me to go home with him. Now, I remember thinking my Aunt Helen had said, "Keep your legs crossed," when I was going away, and that was in the back of my mind. But he was so wonderful and so gallant. So I took a risk, and I went home with Seppo. And we go out on it was like a mass transit bussy thing, and we go out to this suburban area of Helsinki where all it is like tons of identical large they almost look like cinder block white apartment buildings, one after the other, after the other, after the other. They're all identical. And so I went to his apartment, and he sang Betty Davis Eyes, and I don't know, whatever. And he was such a gentleman. And at the end of the night, we were kissing and talking, and he said, "Well, do you want to go in my bed with me? Or do you want to go in your own bed? Or what do you want to do?" And I remember Aunt Helen telling me, "Cross your legs." So I said, "I'll go in my own bed." And I regret it to this day. I really do. It was the stupidest thing I ever did. And so we got up the next morning, we had coffee, he put me in a taxi and took me back to the hostel that I was staying at. And I remember going, my God, that was so stupid, so stupid, so stupid. So I said, I was so determined to make up for it. I was gonna go back to the apartment building, I was gonna find him, and I was gonna go in his bed. So my friends who felt guilty because they had abandoned me were gonna help me. And so I wanted to make sure I had a condom. And the only place I could think to get one was at the bar that we were at nearby. They had vending machines. And so we go back to the bar, and I'm trying to explain to the bouncers who don't speak English that I want to go to the restroom to buy a condom. And I think eventually they understood I was trying to do sign language, and they let me go to the bathroom. They didn't make me pay cover. I just wanted to go in to buy a condom. And I came back out, and I went and took the train back to the apartment complexes, and they all looked the same. And I couldn't remember, because I was kind of drunk when I went there, like which one it was. And so I'm wandering around this Finnish apartment buildings going, "Oh, Seppo, does anybody know Seppo? Seppo," I didn't even know his last name. So And I meet this guy, this nice man. It's getting dark. I don't know where I am. I don't know even how to get a taxi from there. And this man comes. He had a World Wildlife Federation thing on it. I thought he was a nice guy. World Wildlife Federation's nice. And he said, "You can come with me, and I know Seppo." And I said, "Okay." And we'll find Seppo. And his English was very broken, so I went to his house. He had like 6 boys, and I went to. He put me to sleep, and I remember the next morning I woke up. Him and all his sons were walking around in like really brief underpants. Anyway, thinking this is just so strange. He helped me get back in the taxi. I never did see Seppo. At least I knew I tried. And I went back to the youth hostel, and I met my friends. And, it just gets to show you that the power of love or passion or whatever that is a powerful thing. And sometimes it makes you take risks that you just shouldn't take. Thank you.